Welcome back to Youth Expressions. I'm your host, Donald, and with me today is the beautiful Jane Thumani. How you doing, Jane?
I'm doing good.
You're right.
I'm feeling good.
Not forgetting Lee Honey. How you doing?
Hi. How are
You
you?
guys, Lee Honey is smiling.
I am always smiling.
Mrs. K, how you doing?
I'm good, fam. What's up?
Good. Remember the last episode we had, we were actually exploring the electoral process and we were talking about people going to register to vote. And remember, Jane was the host and it was so nice. So today, we have a different topic. We want to still talk about the electoral process, but as we all know, we are about to go to the polls to go vote, and we want to talk about a few things that affect us as young people. This is Youth Expressions, proudly brought to you by the National Youth Development Trust, and let's get it. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you guys aware that as the youth, we constitute of 67.6% of the population?
What?
I
didn't know
call
that.
Just funding and
You could not take it, man.
everyone's always on social media and you're busy streaming, doing all that. But it's quite interesting that you guys talked about that. You guys are the faces out there. You know, I'm an influencer, I'm a celebrity, I'm a telebu, they're very famous on Twitter. I think you're on a podcast as well. People know Mrs. K has very good music, by the way. You guys have good music. We're now Klaveli.
I'm actually a good singer.
Lazy is secret, yeah. What's going to happen? So what's happening is, if we combine what you guys have, right, we call it influence. I'm aware that you guys know about influencers of some sort, and there's a lot that goes on. People look up to you. So what you guys do is very, very important. But then the biggest question is, are you guys involved? Are you active in doing these elections? The whole thing of saying, I want to register to vote, because it's a very important process in any country. True. You understand? It's where people go to the polls and say, this is the decision we want to make, and this is where we want to be as a nation, as the youth. This is what we are casting the vote for or doing this. Without wasting much time, right? I have a few questions for you guys to make this a bit interesting. So like I said, young people constitute of 67.6% of the population, and they're the ones being used to perpetrate violence, right? A lot of people are besides it. They're the ones who are being used to know, guys, let's be violent during the electoral process. And I have a few questions concerning that. To say, why do you think youths get involved in election violence? I'll start with Mrs. K. Why do you think Ama youth are involved in the whole election violence?
Ama youth, please go.
No, but
because it's like itchy, but you know, I'm a hormones.
Let me tell you something. That's
Yeah.
it's pretty unfair to say Ama youth is code. So you're saying ukuthi abathenjiwe ukuthi babaningi yibo abale decision into zokwenza ukusa ilizwe ama-elections and all that yisiqoqodo. So now isiqoqodo.
It's the honesty for me.
So what exactly is it that you think is the reason behind this violence? Why are people using Ama youth for e-violence?
Ama youth, singathi maybe ba frustrated, yabona.
Okay.
Balawo yini ama-platform to air those frustrations, yabona. Bese ngithola ukuthi mina vela ambalwanga lapha kuma-platform nama-channel bese sithi anzababonisa phela mina isiqoqodo.
Okay.
So what you're trying to say is I'm an organization njenge-National Youth Development Trust. Njengoba sihlezi ngale sikuraund table yethu lesikiyo and sikhuluma into lezi eziqakathekileyo ezombuso and into zokwenza ilizwe, progress. Into zokuyakha. I feel important right now because are you saying ukuthi the youth are frustrated because they're not being involved in doing anything?
Vele involvement yama-youth singayikhangela overall ku-electoral process.
Yes.
It's marginal, it's ncane. Yabona, but njengoba sithile, they make up a large percentage of the population.
Okay, interesting. Jane, why do you think the youth are being used to perpetrate violence? Why are they the center of
violence?
Yes, electoral violence.
First of all, I think we are the most energetic
Energy, power.
I mean, if
So I'm a little bit that is sweeter and you got that, saying that's being
and also, I think, okay, the youths, like
yes.
upbringing also. If someone speaks to you nicely, someone with authority over you, and they tell you, stop doing this or what, as long as they don't instill fear, you won't really see how serious it really is.
Okay.
So that's why people end up resorting to violence, and they always think it instills fear. It speeds up the process. Yeah, It's a catalyst.
I understand. Do you have something to say?
Yeah, I think it's because they have too much time on their hands.
Well, it's hard.
That's a good point,
Yeah,
actually.
because of the frustrations they have,
Okay.
unemployment and stuff, all they think about is their frustrations. So anytime, as Zimbabweans as well, you know how we joke around on social media, city, we get over our problems by laughing. So to them, it's not that serious. So if they're protesting, they're now looting, they're now being destructive. Google even. It's just a way to let out those frustrations, but they're destroying.
It's quite interesting. You know why? I love what you guys are saying. You mentioned something about whether for Godo. You mentioned something about energy. You mentioned the time element. If you combine all this, I mean, it simply means the youth are really special.
Yeah.
The older generation or the younger generation, we're dealing with people people who have time, people who can actually tell into something meaningful, And what we're saying here is, I think the youth can actually turn that into something very, very positive,
Violence.
And no. The time, the energy, the aggression, you can turn all that to say, I'm now using my time wisely, and this is what we are doing towards building and creating a change, And we use that 67.6%, right? To actually
doing
something
Yeah,
and
already
things
the
that
majority.
have, and we are agreeing right now. So as I'm an artist, my next question is, what do you think can be done? I've already hinted ukuthi isikhathi sinaso as ama youth, energy sinayo, ingqondo zokwazi ukuqoqoda sinazo, and what exactly can be done? What resources are you talking about?
Well, not a lot of youth are given an ear.
Okay.
So, lapha baphuma khona is it the newspaper or radio? It's either they've done something bad, or they don't get the time. Air out some frustrations out. Maybe if we can have more of these podcasts where the youth can watch and and understand. I'm frustrated, but I don't have to go out and be violent. You understand? You start understanding yourself better.
And have you noticed most of the content, like we're talking about time? I know we spend most of our time on TikTok. We spend most of our time on Instagram. We spend more time on Twitter. And as an artist, don't you think Uguti, besides the podcast and whatever it is, radio, social media, don't you think that you also play an important role towards motivating people, the people with the time, the people always the people with the energy to do something? What can be done from an artist's perspective? Even the music you write, the music videos, because even the music video that actually incites the violence. You understand?
Yeah.
So what can be done from an artist's point of view?
I think Tina we also have a mandate to try and positively influence the youth towards the direction of being peaceful and constructive in their actions, instead of being with the interactions that we love violent. In the music that we make, and again, like you said, in the videos that we do, singabi labana bathi hayi uma video yethu vele abantu bathwele amabhemba. It's all violence. So those depictions.
Between money.
Easy, it's all violence.
I understand.
We push them towards the direction of being more productive.
Do you think as an artist, like on a Marvel podcast and Lee, if you're on TV doing the film and doing whatever, do you think the content we should create as I'm a creative, do you think it should soften our youth more? Because I feel like there's a content ending that hardens them. You know, everyone wants to be a gangster. Everyone wants to be part of, you know, the violence side, to say, it's me, feel me. Do you think you're currently making content that softens these people?
For me, as an actress, like I'm speaking as an actress now, it's hard because you are following the director's orders. But if we could get more film directors, filmmakers that can do a storyline that in educating youth, and also don't make it boring, because most of us educational films are really boring compared to the mainstream that people are busy. Don't make them boring, but
I understand. What do you guys talk about in the podcast? Is it the G and chill type of podcast where you talk about I'm gonna say this, you know, I'm a youth starts with summer with and then we go out there and then we start being rowdy, and you know, because we all want to be felt. What exactly do you guys talk about? Do you guys talk about what we're talking about right now?
We try sometimes not to get in too deep.
But you
but yes, we do. We you know, it's all good and banter and stuff, but then so you know, when you're telling jokes, you know, like about McG, you know, people tend to listen more because violence, savage, so we try to, you know, throw in a little something that's a little serious.
Exactly.
Because you know, you've captured like a huge crowd at the moment. So if a lot of people can hear that amongst the jokes, even if it's silly, but at least they'll hear something that makes sense, that can actually help them.
I like that. So as artists, what you're trying to say is you guys are willing and open to help each and every person out there who falls to at least be, you know, understanding, be soft, to say what violence is not the solution, and this is how we can go about life. This is how we can use our time. This is how we can use our energy, and this is how we can use our minds. But let's explore another topic, right? Violence. So listen, young women are often said to be leading with their hearts and seen as nurturing, kind, and weak.
You no.
This K is smiling like yes.
I was smiling until you said
So listen, pay attention to this, right? I'm saying they are said to be leading with their hearts and seen as nurturing, kind, and weak.
Weak in terms of.
So it's we're simply saying we're exploring it. So women are stigmatized during election period. What do you say about that, and what can be done? Good thing is we've got women they're sitting next to me right now, so I need to know.
They're not only stigmatized during election season.
It's beyond.
It's all the time.
Clarity.
But since we are talking about elections, let's just say during elections. It's an everyday thing.
So let's let me unpack the electoral process and the involvement of women. Women, obviously, if you look at the history of the whole electoral process worldwide, you'll find that women have never been considered for the seats and everything, to say I'm sitting for this and I want to run for that seat, I want to do this, you know, I want to be a councillor, I want to be an MP, I want to run for the presidential, you know, candidacy and be probably a president one day, right? We're talking about women actually being excluded, right? They're stigmatized, and the stigma comes with them being weak, being nurturing, being very understanding. So we often portray leaders as people who have that firm grip, you know? People who are
Shaka Zulu, like.
But look at what the world has turned into.
But look at how the world is in the head.
And so what are we saying about this? Mrs. K, do you think it's a fair observation?
It's tricky, man, because a leader is not necessarily determined by the sects under which they fall. What practices are, or can they actually make good decisions? Do they have good policies? But the tendency is to just bracket women and be like, no, but soft. You
come from a home. I don't know how it is, but I know somehow there's a mother figure that played a very important role in your life. Do you think entweni lezo usaphandle at a larger scale.
Yeah.
Do you think a mom that can run a home,
Yeah.
that can maintain a home, that can actually be a mother,
Yeah.
right, and show that love, that nurturing, and that weakness to say, I forgive you. Do you think that applies in politics? In elections, no, we're actually voting you in and we want you to lead us. Whereas as a man, as a man,
That's a trap.
As a
But
man.
yeah, like I said,
Yes.
leading is about policies, and we often make it about whether someone is male or female.
Yes.
And I feel like that in doing that says limit as a society.
True.
Because there could be great female leaders.
Okay.
That we are not even considering. But yeah, the truth is on the ground right now, it is true that women are stigmatized. They are sort of taken as being soft. They wouldn't make the tough decisions. But yeah, it is what it is right now.
They're stigmatized and used.
So that's what I was saying during the electoral process, right? So are you saying there's some women out there who are probably running for office, be it being a councillor, MP, or whatever it is that they're running for, or presidency? Do you think they are being stigmatized and being viewed as weak, and that will actually weaken their chances of actually making it in the elections?
Yeah.
You feel like that?
Yeah, I feel like that. Even though I'm not a woman, but I know.
All right.
Society.
This is the interesting part now. Let me ask the women. Women, what's your take on this statement? What can you say, MJ, about that?
Women being stigmatized.
Yes.